Hey everybody, one of the most common questions I get from parents and teachers is, how do you get your students in class to do what you want them to do? How do you get them to listen, to pay attention, to focus, to challenge themselves, try new things that they wouldn't have done on their own? And I tell them very simply is getting our students, our kids to make better choices. In our Taekwondo program, there's 15 steps to transformation, and the first step is all about choice. In this video, I'm going to go over the 3 choices or decisions we're all making whether we know it or not. If you're brand new, welcome to Transformation Breakthrough. My name is Jason Reed, and this is for busy parents and teachers, help you break through the biggest challenges that many parents and teachers face. In this video, I'm going to go all the strategies about how to make better decisions. So first of all, there's 3 decisions we're all making. Let's go over what those are quickly, and then we'll go over in more detail. Decision number 1, what to focus on. Decision number 2, what things mean. And decision number 3, what do I do about that? So let's go over that in a little more detail. Number 1, what to focus on. In life, there's so many things we're all focusing on. We have work, school, our job, we have bills, we have to-do lists, we have our friends, our family, we have social media. And it's so very easy for us to be thinking on so many different things. It's very difficult to focus on one thing at a time. So number 1, what to focus on. Number 2, what things mean. Ultimately in life, nothing has any meaning than the meaning that we give it. You can disagree with this if you like, but think about any situation in the past that you've had where you may have thought it was a negative thing at first, but then as you've grown, if you've evolved, if you learned more from it, that it had different meanings from this. Ultimately, it's not the situation that has the meaning, it's us that gives them the meaning. The third one is what we do about it. What are the physical action steps that we're going to do about this in the future? So let's give you a life case scenario. Johnny is a kid in class who's not listening. Or Johnny is a kid who won't do his homework, do his chores. Johnny won't do something. He's focusing on what the pain that he has to go through to do whatever it is he needs to do. When instead, let's get him to change his focus. What's the easiest way to change somebody's focus? Ask questions. Think about this. If I ask you the question, what are you thankful for? Who do you love? Who loves you? What are you most excited about? Does that change your focus? Does that get you to change what you're paying attention to? It's true in life, we could think about the things that we're unhappy about. Who have we lost in our life? What are some of the worst things that happened to you? What's the most painful things that happened to you? Do you see by asking these questions, it's a totally different emotional response? So, if we would get our kids and our students to do what we want them to do, we need to get them in that peak focused state. So let's make sure that they're enjoying, that they're having a good time, that they're connecting what they're doing to something enjoyable. The reason they don't want to do it is because it's not fun. Think about it. What are the things in life that you don't want to do? It's usually you do them because there's some type of pain or some type of uncomfort. So number 1, keep the focus thing. Let's get them to focus on the result. Let's get them to focus on taking action. Let's get them to change that meaning of what they're doing, saying you can do your homework now and have all this free time to do whatever you want to do, or you could put it off, you can stress, you can have it on the back of your head, and you'll never get it done till the last second. If you want to do it that way, you're totally fine. But then how are you going to feel when you're done? How are you going to feel when you're that last couple minutes doing the homework? And they're going to do one thing or the next, and give them those choices. Let them be responsible for the consequences. Tell them if they're not listening in class that they don't get to do something they don't want to do. But don't always use negatives as a way to influence them. Get them to feel good about what they're doing. Get them to connect attention, pleasure with whatever it is you want them to do. Make it fun for them. Make them listen to music. Find a way to get our students engaged. Find a way to connect love, connection, something that they enjoy with what you want them to learn to do. If you get that across, get them to change their focus, then it's going to give a different meaning. And it's going to ultimately get them to take different actions. Think about this in your life. You may have been focused on something negative, something that wasn't going your way, and something that was just, it had control over you. Has that ever happened to you? No, it has me. And later on in life, I let those things have control. I gave them the power to do that. That's not something I would ever want for my students. It's not something I ever want for myself. I know I've lost my temper before. I know there's things that I'm not real happy about what I did because I was reacting to it. I wasn't making the right choices. I felt as though I didn't have control. When we put ourselves in charge of the decisions, put ourselves in charge of the questions we ask ourselves, ultimately that has influence over our emotional state. when they have influence over our emotional state, our focus, and our attitude, then that's going to change ourselves, our students, anybody we talk to. That's going to help them get into the right state so that way we can help them accomplish any goal they have. So let's do a real quick recap here. Decisions are the key to success in our life. What are the 3 types of decisions we have in our life? We have what to focus on, what things mean, and what to do about this. If you would, put a comment in the link below of a decision that you made that changed your life. A decision or a choice that you made that if you would have made something different, you wouldn't be where you are right now. I'll tell you a really quick personal one is that about 23 years ago, 1996, I believe, there's a friend of ours who had a wedding. And I really wasn't planning on going to the wedding. And my buddy of mine talked me into it, and I went there, and we had a good time, as we always do. But I met somebody. Somebody I've known before, I hadn't talked to before, but we started a relationship. I now call her my wife. If I wouldn't have made that decision all those years ago to that party, I don't know if we'd be together now. I don't know if we'd have 2 kids together now. But I learned then that decisions are the key to success. When we understand what we're focusing on, what things mean, and we give those meanings, by the way, and then what action steps I want to do to get the consequences we want, that helps us have more control. When we get our students to connect their choices with their consequences, it lets them be in control, lets them have more power. So instead of us always telling them what to do, which is something we have to do sometimes, we ask us asking them better questions is going to get them in charge, get them in control, and ultimately get them to make better decisions. So anyway, if you like this, do me a favor. Share this with somebody you love, like, comment, and if you haven't yet, subscribe to this page too. We'll look forward to seeing you on the next show.